So the mystery knit along is right around the corner and it happens in stages. Okay, so it's really exciting. It's like the day before your birthday. So I divide the mystery knit along into 4 weeks. So this one starts October 8th. So you're gonna get the first section, or maybe sections. You never know how much knitting you're gonna do each week. So you're gonna get those first instructions, and then every following Friday, there's gonna be new sections, new techniques. The colors are gonna dance in a different way. So yeah, 4 weeks. By the end of it, we're gonna have a shawl, but don't stress, okay? Say yes, don't stress. A lot of people like try to knit up to the deadline and finish that week's section before the next one comes out, but that's not necessary, okay? It's not a race. You just gotta embrace your own pace, okay? Let's do that. Embrace your own pace. So you can participate and, you know, don't feel like you have to catch up, but just enjoy it. But yeah, 4 weeks of clues. You never know where it's gonna go, but it's the 12th knit along. I like the number 12, so it's gotta be a pretty epic big shawl for year number 12. So I can't wait to see what we do for Shawlography. You have no idea what shape it's gonna be. It's either gonna be, you know, a big shape or a bigger shape, okay? I don't give too many spoilers or details, so all the techniques and all the shaping is a complete surprise. And I really like to invite people to let go and be surprised by what I do each year, because I don't always know what I'm gonna do each year. But this year, for the Shawlography, I wanted to do something with a little bit different techniques and textures. So there's gonna be some elements in this year's shawl that I haven't quite done before in a mystery shawl. I've been knitting for about 16 years total. So every year I try to learn something new in knitting, and I incorporate those new things that I learned into the mystery shawls. So you can kind of document my learning process from 12 years ago, 10 years ago. I started learning intarsia and slip stitches, and now it's evolved into learning brioche and throwing brioche, like in the exploration station. And there's always some really good shawls in the Mystery Knit Along catalog because I spend the most time designing and developing those shawl ideas. But when I learn something new, I like to put it in a mystery shawl and encourage other people to have their eyes opened and kind of twist knitting and flip it on its head and try to present some of these traditional ideas and techniques in a funky West Knits modern way. The scariest part about a mystery shawl for me is trying to make it better every year. I try to outdo myself every year and I don't know how far I can stretch it. And this year I tried to not make it so much better and not stress myself out about that, but I just tried to relax and have that sense of playfulness and improvisation. And I wanted to experience this exciting adventure in knitting for myself. So there's gonna be these ups and downs to the knit along, where there'll be something surprising that happens and then something calm and relaxing. But the last 3 mystery knit alongs, like Texture Time, Starflake, Slipstravaganza, they've evolved into these like complex collages of technique and shaping and color, and it's just this fiesta of fiber. And I don't know how much further I can push that, but yeah, the scariest part for me is trying to make it better each year. Whenever I start the mystery shawl, I usually start with just one idea, like one technique or one shape idea, but I never start a mystery knit along design by knowing what the whole thing is gonna look like. So when I'm designing the shawl, it's a complete mystery to me. And that can be really stressful, but it's a constant process of letting go of the stress. And I have a trick where I just say yes and don't stress. Okay, if I think of some crazy idea that I think it's not gonna work or be too much, I just say yes. I try it, I do a little swatch, or I draw a little section. I just say yes, don't stress. So when I design the shawl, I think of it in chunks and sections. So when you are participating in the Mystery Knit Along, you're also experiencing those different chapters and sections of the design. So what I love about the Mystery Knit Along is not only are you making something really cool and having a fun process of knitting this mystery shawl, but you're experiencing those same kinds of fascinations that I was experiencing when I designed it. You'll knit a section and you'll be like, is this really a shawl? Where is this going? And that's exactly what I'm thinking when I'm designing. But with the mystery knit along, you're really getting a sense of my process. So I'm excited for people to kind of let go and realize that my knitting process and the design and what you can make with knitting can really go anywhere. This year's knit along theme, I wanted to embrace this theme of movement and dance. So I called it Shawlography, like choreographing this shawl experience, because I moved to Amsterdam by studying choreography school at the art school here in Amsterdam. So my timeline with knitting is very much in sync with dance and movement. So I like to relate the two, not so much literally, but in terms of the process. And what I love about dance and what I love about knitting is just that creative process of just following your instincts and sensations to make something visual and beautiful. So this year's knit along was really fun to produce, like all the promo and the photos and the videos, because when we did all the dancing and photography, I hadn't designed the shawl yet. I loved the beauty of entering into something where you have no idea what's going to happen. In this case, it was getting 7 dancers together and a bunch of shawls, and we just turned the camera on and started going slow, just trusting each other. Then it got playful, and then soon we were just soaring and making these like web-like structures with all the shawls. And it was so exciting because we made something so beautiful together without planning it or without being so specific and structured about it. And I think that's where the best things come from, is from not planning, but from trusting and from listening to each other and trusting your instincts, letting go. And it's that spirit and that kind of process that I really like to embrace and encourage for people and knitters participating in the knit along. And that's something especially unique to the mystery knit along, because there's so many people participating. There's that inspiration and that communication happening between people from all over the world, but we can get that from our computer screens and the photos that we share to have something inspiring and meaningful that happens in our lives.